Hello, I'm Tarryl Clark. Welcome to our first out-of-session update. Today I just want to talk a little bit about the governor's recent announcement not to seek a third term. We're particularly concerned now about his unallotments. He's saying he's going to go it alone and cut over $3 billion on his own, meaning education, police, fire, hospitals, and nursing homes. Minnesotans across the state should be concerned about the kinds of cuts he is looking at doing on his own. He's doing this at a time where he is clearly setting himself up, looking for a job on the national level. We're particularly concerned because this means Minnesotans won't be able to hold him accountable for his actions, and that he may feel even more at leisure to do whatever the heck he wants without regard to the consequences to our state. Communities are going to be particularly hit by his actions. He proposed early on in session and has told us again and again that he is planning on making cuts to counties and cities. And that he's doing that at the same time that he said he wanted to hold public safety harmless. Well, you can't hold public safety harmless and cut the very aid that helps pay for our police officers, our firefighters, and our sheriff's departments. The other place that he has talked about making even deeper significant cuts is in the area of health care. Hospitals are already about to get cut in a very big way under the veto that he did at the end of session, eliminating the general assistance medical care coverage. Now, those funds help the sickest and the poorest among us, but they also mean a lot of funding that helps our hospitals stay open and make sure that we can each get the kinds of help that we need if something happens to us. It also means thousands of jobs will be cut. So it's ironic at a time that the governor set his sight up on creating a new job for himself. He is more than willing to have tens of thousands of Minnesota jobs eliminated. Now, recently, I don't know how many of you have seen it, but my family and I just went and saw the new Star Trek movie. And there's a young Captain Kirk. Actually, he's not a captain yet. He barely can see over a car steering wheel. He's taken a gorgeous convertible, vintage convertible, out for a joyride. And he is racing through the desert trying to outrun a police officer, going like the devil. And all of a sudden he gets up to what's obviously a canyon, and he bails on the vehicle and he escapes with his own life. And that's a little bit of like what the governor just did with his announcement not to seek a third term. He took Minnesota out for an irresponsible joyride. The car is going into the canyon, and he has escaped with his life, ready to move on to a new day. Now we hope that he crawls out and he decides to go ahead and work with us to rebuild Minnesota. But it looks like what he really intends to do is work on rebuilding the Republican Party and building a new career for his future. If you have ideas on maybe how we can get him to change what his actions are to Minnesota, please let me know, or more directly, contact the governor himself and let him know that if he's going to be here for the next 19 months, he needs to focus on rebuilding Minnesota, not be out chasing a new job. I'm Tarryl Clark. Hope you are having a good summer.